You're never going to get this year back in your life. You're never getting it back, whether you're an 8-time Pro Bowler or a no-time Pro Bowler like me. If you're late for work, if you're out of shape, if you're not knowing what to do, you're going to never, ever be able to live with yourself. Because you guys got a chance to do some good things. Can we win a championship?
You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in every week on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at creativemediamonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler, a.k.a. File Alzado. What's happening, Che?
What's good, man? What's good?
You know what's good.
Yeah, I know what's good.
Yeah.
I know what's good.
We're gonna.
So does most of the Raider Nation right now, man. It's going crazy right now.
Yeah, we're really excited to break down this Chargers game. We're not breaking down the Chargers game.
Stop that, man.
Gonna need a new keyboard after that.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about John Gruden.
Oh, you don't say.
Let me get my composure. Let me get centered. Should we do some quick hits?
Quick hits.
JDR fired his ass. Everyone else is free to seek other employment. Somebody earlier told me that's not the same thing as getting fired. If my boss tells me, you're free to start looking for work elsewhere.
I'm not feeling too comfortable about my job.
The writing's on the wall. Okay.
It's basically like, hopefully you find something before we shit can you. Come on, man.
Pat on the back. Go ahead and work on your resume this afternoon and then just take the rest of the night off. Oh, okay.
And next week, too.
How was your work today, hon? It was great. I'm still in good standing. Come on, dude. John Gruden expected to be the new coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And a very intelligent person pointed out to me today that if they announce the hiring on Monday, it'll be the 20-year anniversary of his hiring in 1998.
Wow. I didn't put that together, man.
It's crazy, huh?
That's crazy.
It's wild, man. That's wild.
I can't do the Gruden voice, man. That's all you.
I can't really do it either. Paul Guenther expected to join the staff as DC. He has been given permission to leave the Bengals. I believe his contract is up, possibly, is what it is. We're not fact checking that, nope. But that's the rumor right now, is that he's out there. Bengals have fielded a top 10 defense. They're not stoppers, but Gruden likes what he sees, and this is kind of what I like about this hiring. We'll talk more about this, is that Gruden's actually been able to see the league from above for a while now and sit back and kind of cherry pick some of the brighter minds in the NFL and the college. So if he's targeting Guenther, and if that's a true story, I'm going to roll with it.
Let's roll with it, man. Let's roll with it.
Greg Olsen expected to join the staff as offensive coordinator. A lot of mixed feelings. I see you right now.
Yeah. I saw that when I saw that somebody posted that.
Yeah.
I think I saw that on an Instagram. I think it might have been the Raiders homepage. Instagram page. Check them out. They always post some good stuff. But I saw that he had like the lineup of offensive, defensive coordinators, quarterback coach.
Right.
And I was like, Greg Olsen. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, just a few days ago, it was rumored that Morton from the Jets was tied to Gruden too, and I suppose he still is. I'm sure he's going to field all candidates. And that's somewhat exciting. They got a lot done with McCown over there this year. For us, this last year.
Right.
For the Jets too, last year. We can say that. I don't know how I feel about Olsen either.
Do you know what? I guess the bright side of it would be that we know that there's going to be a Gruden playbook involved, regardless of who the OC is.
Right.
And we know that has been successful in the past. So, hey, but yeah.
I was originally hearing he was going to be QB coach, but I believe he's QB coach this year over in LA. So that would be a lateral move, which, again, according to his contract, which I haven't looked at today, it wouldn't be allowed unless he was given permission to leave by the Rams. So now he's rumored as OC. Maybe Morton and him are both in the mix. I thought that the Gannon thing was just sort of rumored just because he's tied to John Gruden, but recent comments that he made today suggest that Gruden's talked to him about it in the past.
Right.
And they do actively talk about this. So
right.
if that's the case, then definitely Gannon's in the mix. He's going to leave CBS.
You know what makes me suspicious about that? And I know we made our comments about this previously. But what made me a little bit suspicious about it was this past weekend's game. Gruden was real adamant about John not coming back.
You mean Gannon was adamant?
Gannon was really adamant about John, not coming back to coach. Almost like he was trying to throw people off. Like he was trying to not get people on the game that they were putting together. So It was a little suspicious when he said that. I was like, well, you're trying a little too hard to get people off this topic, man. Interesting. Interesting.
A little misdirection there.
Yeah.
A little play action.
Now you see me, now you don't.
So we didn't recognize that.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that kind of misdirection in a long time. So Jeremiah Washburn, who was previously tied to these rumors as Gruden's pick for offensive line coach, was actually signed Miami today. So he will not be joining the staff. A lot of people let down by that. He would have been coming from Chicago. But, I mean, there's other offensive line candidates out there. As we know, John's a magnetic dude.
Right.
He's one of the biggest names in pro sports, inside or outside of the booth.
Right.
He's just kind of this iconic man. So I'm sure he'll attract some other talent there, as long as their initials aren't Mike Tice. We're good.
Initials Mike Tice.
The Raiders have reportedly satisfied the Rooney Rule.
I saw that.
Yeah, we don't know who they interviewed.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Could have been Riley McKenzie and Dave Chappelle.
Those are good interviews right there, man.
I'd love to be in on that Dave Chappelle interview.
I want to do the Dave Chappelle interview for sure. You know what I was talking about, though, man? I was talking about this. I was like, listen, do you really have to question the Raiders on whether or not they're being equal opportunists? Like, come on now. We're the first team to have an African-American coach. We're the first team to have a Hispanic coach, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
So that those rules don't apply to us. Go check with the Patriots about that. Don't check with us, man. Get out of here with that.
John Gruden wanted back in 2009. And according to Gannon, he's been prepping for years. He's been talking to college coaches about wrinkles in their system. He's still a film junkie, and he's been waiting for this. So those of you that listen to 95.7 The Game, or you read, consume articles on the internet like we do, you probably read a little bit about this story that back in 2009, Gruden was in town to broadcast a Niner game on Monday Night Football, I believe it was. And Mike Tirico was in town to broadcast for a Raiders game, and it happened to be his birthday. So they celebrated at Ricky's Sports Bar, which is the Raiders sports bar in the Bay Area. And Gruden had a few to drink that night. And
Not Coronas.
Not Coronas, no. I guess it was at that time that he told Papa he wanted him to tell the old man that he wanted to come back. And eventually called Al Davis, not once but twice. Nobody calls Al Davis twice.
Right.
And Al told Papa later on that subsequent offseason, guess who called me? And it was John. And Greg told him, you're not going to do that. He said, I'm thinking about it. Well, we rolled with cable instead. There's some people that said, if John had come back at that time with that roster, maybe not the best move. Maybe not.
Maybe. I think it might have been too soon.
Might have been.
It might have been too soon.
Then again, did we not have Jason Campbell at that time?
I want to say we did.
Yeah, that was prior to Palmer.
We had Campbell.
And we had McFadden.
But we didn't really have a whole lot else, man. I mean, what we
Zach
had Denarius Moore was Moore playing at that time?
Sorry, not Zach Crockett. Tight end at the time. Ended up going to Seattle, followed Cable to Seattle. Come on. Tip of my tongue.
Tip of the tongue. I can't think of that. I can't think of who you're thinking of. I know.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I see him.
Zach Miller.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Knew it was a Zach.
He was our best offensive weapon.
He was at that time. Yeah.
It tells you a lot about our offense.
For sure. So he's been wanting to do this for years. We'll talk a little bit about how I felt about that going into this offseason and the things that I said. And I'll be eating a big bowl of crow while we do so. As it turns out, and you sent this to me earlier, that Evander Does has been hurt this season.
Well, he posted. That was his Instagram page.
Yeah.
He posted that he's going to go through this rehab. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, so you were injured. We had questions about that, right? Because he showed early, and then he kind of tapered off, and everyone was like, what happened to this dude? Where'd he go? He disappeared.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, maybe this guy's just out there, and he's playing hurt, and that's why we're not seeing what we saw early on. In those first 2 games, he looked good.
Yeah.
He stood out. And yeah, so today, as a matter of fact, he posted it, and I saw that. I was like, oh, well, there you go.
I don't recall ever seeing him on the injury report, though.
No, he wasn't. See, that's the thing. So obviously he was injured. He wasn't to full strength, and I mean he wouldn't be going through any kind of rehab if he wasn't, right. So he did make a mention. He did say that he appreciates the love and all the support from the loyal Raider Nation. So I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
So now it's neither Vander does or Vander doesn't. It's Vander doing what he can.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call him.
That's what it was. Vander doing what he can. Hopefully he can do more.
So, yeah, we'll see what that looks like. We're going to bring Kane on here in just a matter of minutes, but I know he's fired up. I know he's got a lot to say, and we want to give him that room. So let's you and I talk about this a little bit before that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's hard not to be excited about this.
It is, man. Listen, we like I said, we talked about this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. I mean, Raider fans, we're nostalgic, man. Mm-hmm. We love our past, man. We love to live the good times, the good years, right? Relive them. ESPN Classic and all the other ways that we can. You probably got some VHS tapes recorded somewhere with some Raider games on them that you still go back to. They're all grainy and falling apart. I know I do.
I do.
So we love that. So whenever we have that little glimpse of the past, it starts to feel good, all warm inside, all tingly, right? Get all excited. We were quick to say, like, hey, let's stop living in the past. Let's look to the future. I don't think that's a bad message.
No,
I don't think that's a bad message. But now this is coming to fruition, it seems, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there's a reason to be excited now.
Were you this excited when we re-signed Art Shell?
I can't say I was, man. See, you know what? And I was gonna say that, kind of to help us pump the brakes on the excitement a little bit too. Yeah. I was gonna mention Art Shell because Art Shell got let go in a way that most people think was a little too soon too when we let him go the first time.
Yeah.
We weren't playing too bad.
No.
And the only reason why we kind of fell off was Bo Jackson going down.
That's true.
So from that standpoint, he was doing pretty good when we let him go.
Yeah.
And so we try to relive that and bring that back and see if we could spark that up again, and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So that's, but I don't think that John's that. I don't think that's the case with John because of
it's not a fair
the offensive mind that he is. We were talking about this earlier, and the other thing that stands out to me about John is that he's able to make quarterbacks that other people didn't really see as starters or stars for that matter into more. He gets more out of his quarterback than I think most have. Specifically when you're talking about Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon was a journeyman.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
You're playing for the Vikings, playing for the Chiefs. Nobody wanted the guy.
No.
Nobody wanted the guy. He had talent. Everybody saw that he had some skill, but nobody really was sold on him being the franchise guy.
Who did the Chiefs pick over him? Elvis Gerbach?
I think so.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you, Chiefs?
Hey, Niner fan, bust out your Gerbach jerseys.
But then he comes to the Raiders, and John just finds a way to get the best out of him, and he makes an MVP out of him, right?
Yeah.
And then even when he went over to Tampa Bay, which we don't like, right? We really hate to think of. But he had Brad What's-His-Face, who won a Super Bowl for him.
I know.
Okay, and he didn't light it up by any means.
No.
But he got the best out of that dude.
Yeah, if you look at the stats, their offense definitely experienced an uptick.
Right.
And you got way more out of him than Tony Dungy ever was able to do so.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So that's the one thing that kind of catches my eye is this guy is either going to be the guy that pushes Derek Carr into that MVP category that we've been waiting for him to be, to fall into. After last season, we were totally sold that he was already there.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be the guy that pushes him there or breaks him.
It's true.
It's true, man. Right?
True.
I mean, let's be real. He's either gonna push him there or he's gonna break him.
Somebody was saying earlier on the blog, I'm kind of concerned because if it's Gannon and Gruden coaching him up, those are two really like bristly dudes, and he might need somebody to lean on. I'm like, bro, he's a pro athlete. He could go lean on his brother if he needs somebody to lean on.
He needs a little bit of what Gruden and Gannon had. We were talking about that too. The reason why we saw Gannon and Gruden going at it so many games, right? From the sideline, Gannon in the middle of the field yelling towards the sideline, Gruden yelling from the sideline to the middle of the field, is they were the same dude. That's not so much a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? They felt strongly about things, and they were willing to stand up for him, and they were fired up. That's what we want to see. We want to see Carr fired up, man.
Fire.
If he cusses out Gruden, I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go. At least we got some motivation.
And that was the other comment I made, is if they break Carr, if he crumbles under that, he's not an NFL quarterback.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
At this time next year, all the answers to our questions will have come into the open. Mm-hmm. We will know what Derek Carr is made of. Mm-hmm. We will know if he is cerebral enough to run this offense. Now, he may not be there yet because this is going to take a while to install.
I think so too.
But we'll see it. We'll see it right away.
Yeah.
And we'll know if he can handle that pressure. And we'll know if John Gruden is Chucky with the fire or if he's broadcaster John Gruden caricature that we see on ESPN.
Right.
The watered down version of John Gruden.
Right.
Is he doing that just for the broadcast? He's chilling. He's on the sideline. There's no scoreboard over him.
Right.
Or is he lost it? He's 54, 52, 54 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Young looking 54. Definitely. It's all those Coronas keeping him young.
Put on a little weight on it.
He's put a little weight.
He's put a little weight on since back then.
John Fuden. they call him on Rome Show. So we'll see. But I think the fact that he's been trying to get back to Oakland for a while now tells me that there is fire left.
Right.
Gannon or Romanowski says, and this is, I don't know if Romo still talks to Gruden or not. I imagine everyone's blocking Romo's phone calls.
He's coming back as DC, man.
He says, why is he doing this? Why? Because scoreboard. He's got no scoreboard to measure, his success.
It's true, man. I think when you're a competitor, man, it doesn't matter what level you've ever played at. If you played any sport and you have a competitive fire inside of you, which I think Gruden had in large amounts when he was coaching, that stuff doesn't go away, man. It's hard to feel that with anything else, right? You can kind of like, hey, yeah, this is cool. I'm being successful here, but unless you got that like head-to-head combat, especially if you're into football.
Yeah.
Football above all else. There's nothing that's going to fill that void except football. And, I think we're going to see a little bit of the old Gruden. I think he's going to be definitely matured, not just in his physicality.
Yeah.
but he's going to be a little bit more matured in his approach, I would say.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I'm cautiously optimistic right now.
Me too, man.
I got fans all around me yelling Super Bowl. I just, on the blog, just dropped that 9 wins is the ceiling for this team next year. And everybody was like, oh! Oh, my God!
Hey, after my prediction last season, man, okay, at the beginning of last season, I'm very cautiously optimistic, okay?
13-3.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold up on that one, man.
There's still time, bro. There's still time.
Oh, did I say this season? I meant next season.
So I mean, I really believe that there's a whole new offense to be installed. The West Coast offense, you can say it's simplified or you can say it's complicated. It's really both. It's a simple system that has a lot of options. And under John Gruden, it gets very complicated very quickly. The language itself is complicated. It's a simple in philosophy, I guess you would say, in the actual diagram, but situationally, it gets very complicated.
Yeah.
And it takes a cerebral quarterback to run it effectively. Or else it just really does look like a dink and dunk system, right? It's one play feeding off of each other, and it's a lot of tempo. I was looking at the Gruden quarterback camp with Derek Carr, and they're breaking down film, and he's showing them different sets, and he's like, man, if I had you as my quarterback, we'd be in tempo all the time. We'd never huddle ever again.
Right.
So I'm going to hold you to that.
Right.
I better not see one single huddle in 2018. But really, though, I cautiously optimistic. We don't know how long this is going to take. We don't know what John Gruden has left. I have faith in him. I think he's a competitive dude, and that alone tells me he's going to come back with fire. But the other thing is the financial side of this. So I know originally it was reported 5 years at $10 million a year, a $50 million contract. And then it was being reported that it's actually going to be much bigger than that. So currently, John Gruden is making $6.5 million at ESPN, and you look at Bill Belichick; he's the highest paid right now at $9 million. And the report out there was that this is going to be historically large and much longer and much wealthier than originally reported. So the rumor I'm hearing, my source, my little birdie, is telling me this is going to be a 7-year contract at $15 million per. Give or take a few. This is going to come in right around $100 million total contract. There will be no ownership. I had written a report for Raider Ramble. Not really much of a story, really just getting a real quick news hitter out there. But I was kind of doubtful in there about the ownership. I kind of tried to slip that in. It was a non-opinionated piece. But as it turns out, that's not happening. Gruden already debunked that rumor. I think it was this morning or yesterday. I can't keep track. This Gruden stuff is just like flying around. So that's where it's at right now, folks. I don't know if you guys have heard that, if any other people are reporting that yet, but that's what I'm hearing. And that alone makes me nervous. I know some people think this is a PR move. This is just to sell PSLs in Vegas. Well, okay. All right. I'll give you that. Maybe the initial signing sells some PSLs. Well, here's the news flash. I don't know that they're selling the PSLs yet. And if we go out there and shit the bed in 2018, they're not selling any PSLs.
Right, exactly.
Because after the buzz wears down and the visor's back on,
right,
and that guy's walking the sidelines, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect what we think it should, people are going to go sour on this real fast.
Yeah. We saw what happened with Jack this year.
Yeah, everybody loved Jack Del Rio last year. We had pictures of him carrying his testicles in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Right? And where are we at now?
Oh, that was a great meme, by the way.
Where are we at now?
Exactly.
Mark told him to pack those nuts up and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And he hadn't even gotten to the podium yet. So,
and they had shriveled a lot.
Yeah, when you're not winning, those balls are real heavy. I mean, really dragging you down.
It got cold real quick.
So, Jack Del Rio took his little Raisinets out of here. And, so here we stand. So I'm, again, very cautiously optimistic because if this crashes, this is going to be a big step back for this organization, which is already mired in setbacks that we experienced this season. We felt like we took steps backwards this year. So what would that mean? So again, at this time next year, we will have all the answers to our questions, and we'll be moving forward. That said, if it is that bad, I don't know that Mark can eat that contract.
Right.
And there's a lot of people are telling me, oh, don't worry about it. He's got money now. Mark's got new money. I'm sorry. That's actually being critical of him because he is new money Mark. But Mark has money now. He's got the loan. He's got money to play with. Where was this money back when we needed a stadium in Oakland? Okay, I know.
Right.
Coach money and stadium money, very different.
Right.
I get it. He's going to eat Jack's contract. Okay, don't worry about that. All right, I won't worry about that. What happens if this Gruden experiment fails? He's not going to eat both of those contracts.
No way, he can't.
And I know Gruden's not going to put ink to paper if it's, no guaranteed money if he walks or if he gets canned.
Right.
So this is a very dangerous move. And Mark is all in. He's put all the chips in now.
Yeah.
Last year, we called him Riverboat Rio. Well, now we got Riverboat Davis. Yeah. And all the Cheetos are on the table. All the Cheetos are on the table. This contract's got marks.
The dust is all over his hands.
Yeah, orange fingerprints all over that contract.
On his forehead.
John's like, where the hell do you want me to sign on this thing, man?
And his cool bangs.
His cool bangs. He bangs. So I enter this off season with cautious optimism and informed pessimism.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say that's wishy-washy. Am I excited about the move? Hell yeah, I'm excited about the move. Everybody that watches football is excited about this move.
Right.
I said it earlier. John Gruden is an iconoclast of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is, I mean, come on, dude. He's a meme of himself at this point.
Yeah.
That's a good and bad thing, I guess, depending on what happens next year. But it's very precipitous at this point. We don't know what's going to happen. So I remain excited, but no, Raider fan, we're not going to the Super Bowl next year. And hey, please, I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, right. We want to, we want to be wrong this time.
Sure.
We didn't want to be wrong last at the beginning of last season, man.
But I'm saying 8 to 9 wins is about the ceiling, and I think Kane's going to come on here. He's probably going to tell you about the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I guess.
You know what though? Let me just say this, and I know maybe this is again, excuse me, a bit pessimistic, but it's an improvement. It's an improvement from this season, even if it is 9-win season next season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want to see. We want to see consistent progress. We don't want to see one big jump and then a giant fall like we did this season. So if we're making consistent progress and we're moving in the right direction, and you guys think back to when Gruden first came, it was the same situation.
It was the same exact situation.
It was the same situation. We were down in the dumps, and he started to make a little bit of progress. And we got there slowly but surely, and we became a consistent winning football team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had our bumps, our bruises in the playoffs, but we were consistently there and consistently being contenders. That's what we want. Mm-hmm. We want consistency. We want longevity. We don't want something we got there real quick and now we're gone again.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
That's where the 7-year contract could be a good thing. So you're right. He came into an organization that was a mess. The players had quit. The coaching staff had their heads up their butts. And he came in right away. He took Larry Brown's 24 away from him, gave it to Charles Woodson, and the rest is history.
There you go.
And then we went on from there. He demands perfection. He will get right in your face immediately. Does not tolerate any form of laziness. Zero shortcuts. Huddles have to be meticulous. They have to be crisp. Mm-hmm. Everything is just, by the book, by his book. So that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we get this guy on here or what?
Let's get him on, man. Let's get him on.
So I know a lot of you guys have already thrown your phones out the window. And I owe you that. Buckle up for this,
it's
okay?
About the 15th phone this season, man.
Buckle up, because you may already be a little kind of weird about some of the stuff I just said. But here's the thing about Kane. He always keeps it real.
And he's coming in hot.
He's coming in real hot. So give me a second, and we're going to get him on here. The blog father is coming on in just a moment. And prepare yourself. Without further ado, I'll bring to you guys blog father number 1, Raider Kane. Kane, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, Kenny. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Happy New Year to you. Happy 2018.
Yeah.
Same to you, Che. Happy New Year to both of you and to all your listeners.
Happy New Year to you, brother.
So let's get right to it, man. John Gruden is going to be announced as the new head coach of the Oakland Raiders, possibly as soon as next week. How do you feel about this? This is one of the biggest moves in NFL history. This is going to go down in the books as a memorable occasion. Whether we remember this as a good day or a bad day is yet to be determined. But how do you feel about this? Everybody's already chanting Super Bowl. Folks have declared us champions in 2018 already. People are saying 2 Super Bowls at least in the next 3 years. Temper that enthusiasm and give us a dose of the real. We need that medicine, Kane.
Well, man, I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking we're going to the Super Bowl and anytime soon, you got another thought coming, man. We talking about bringing in John Gruden and bringing in a new system, bringing in a new quarterbacks coach, a new way of doing things, a new way of thinking, and installing just a brand new whole outlook in the team. And we're going to take that and go to the Super Bowl. Let's just be realistic, man. We may not even win 8 games next year. To be honest with you, if Derek Carr is going to have to take to the coaching. Derek Carr is going to have to. These guys, Rich Gannon and John Gruden, are going to be looking for Derek Carr to make some changes to his game.
Yep.
And all of that is going to affect whether we go to even win 8 games. This is a totally different way of approach coaching. These guys approach it differently. They much more than what Carr has given or is given. They're going to be much more demanding and time. This is not a 1 year, oh, here we go, we're going to the Super Bowl because John Gruden is the head coach. I mean, that's ridiculous. And whoever thinking that, you're ridiculous for even believing that was something like that would happen. It's not that simple. So, that's where I'm at with that. John Gruden has been hired. And or there's rumors that he's going to be hired, and there's rumors that he's going to be bringing in a new coaching staff, new defensive coordinator. But we're going to go to the Super Bowl next year. Good luck with that.
Where do you see this team at this time next year? If you gut feeling, where do you put this team at record wise, wins and losses?
I'm gonna say 8-8.
8-8.
And I'll say 8-8. Like I said before, we are installing a new system. John Gruden's system is not peanut butter and jelly. It's a system that's going to take some time for Derek Carr to learn. He's going to have to put in some time. He's going to have to put in some time in the film room, on the field, on the practice field. It's going to take some time. 8-8, man. 8-8.
So, that said, are you excited about this at all? Is there any kind of excitement inside of you at all for this? What was your initial reaction when you heard the news?
Well, as I believe we talked about this earlier, I'm excited for the fact that we needed to get to fire Jack Del Rio, and Mark didn't wait, didn't hesitate to do it. He's going to eat, $14 million for doing it. Mm-hmm. He had to make a decision. There was dysfunction in the coaching ranks in this team, and Mark saw that, and he made a choice. That I'm excited about. I'm excited that Mark went after probably the biggest name out there as far as head coaches go, and he's aggressively going after hiring this guy. I'm excited about that. I can't get no more excited than that. Everything else is a wait and see. Everything else is they hired him or they're going to hire him. Now you got to get in. You got to see how this team picks up to his coaching style. Mm-hmm. You got to see how they take on the new staff as a whole. How him and Reggie going to work together. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of question behind this, and it doesn't lead to Super Bowl. That's for sure. So at least not in 2019. So that's where I'm at with that, man. We've got it's a long road ahead of us, and the only thing that's exciting is that Mark Davis finally looks like he's trying to be an owner, a better, he's growing into being a better owner, and that's exciting from that aspect.
It's definitely an aggressive move by Mark Davis, more aggressive than that hairline.
That shit's aggressive, man.
You mean that bowl line, huh? Bowl line, huh?
Hey, that's the only Super Bowl that's been around this team for years.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Mark gets his haircut at Super Bowls. Here's the deal, Kane, and I kind of already touched on this, but what happens if this fails? What happens if this doesn't work out? If Gruden is not the answer, where does this team sit headed into Las Vegas?
If this Gruden thing doesn't work, you're going back to the Jamarcus Russell era. You going back to where you ain't gonna have no fans. You in a brand new big. Mark ain't gonna have a team. He's gonna lose it. If this doesn't work, Mark Davis will not be owning the Raiders. That's what's gonna happen.
So
if this don't work, Mark Davis will not own the team. He will have to sell the team because he's spending too much money as it is right now. And if it don't work, you're not going to have a revenue stream coming in to keep it going. So that's where we at.
Yeah.
If it don't work, it's not a good thing. You're going back to Jamarcus Russell era. Yeah.
Now with all the Kool-Aid,
Sad,
that's flowing out there, because there's a lot of Kool-Aid. It is January. Raider Nation always filled up with the Kool-Aid about this time of year. For all of that, there are some detractors to this deal. There are some people that are comparing this to the Marshawn Lynch signing, saying that Lynch was signed to sell season tickets and game day tickets and jerseys while the team remains in Oakland. It was basically a buffer to the Las Vegas move. Would you compare the Gruden signing to the Lynch signing? Do you think this is the same kind of situation?
Oh, 100%. They get ready to start selling PSLs in Las Vegas in January.
Okay. So it is January.
What better time than the...
Yeah. Okay. So they are going to start selling PSLs. I was out of the loop on that.
We're supposed to start selling. Let me take that back. There was PSLs in January.
Okay.
But this is a PR move. It's a PR move. I believe it's a PR move first.
Okay.
Because of the business for 10 years. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. John Gruden has been away from the game for a long time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this got PR written all over it, dude.
Now, do you think this is, money aside, is this a good signing? Money aside.
Oh, man. You know what, bro? I would rather have. I was thinking about this last night too, because I knew we was getting ready to be talking about this, and I've been trying to think of what I'm gonna say and my thoughts on this. And my thoughts on this is there are probably or could be better coaching candidates than John Gruden out there. I know you don't want to hear that, but we at least could have tapped the waters just to see what was out there before we just, we're going to hire John Gruden and now we're going to the Super Bowl type shit. Right. I mean, we could have, there's Matt Nagy. You're going to pay somebody $10 million a year. We got David Shaw in the Bay Area at Stanford. Mm-hmm. There's Pep Hamilton with the Colts. There's Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniel. There's guys out there that are winning with their teams right now. Todd Haley, I know he was a coach once before, but maybe he's grown a little bit since working with Ben Roethlisberger and working under a steady system in Pittsburgh. He's another coaching candidate. I mean, what my point is shouldn't we have shook the tree a little bit and just see, what's going to fall out before we just say, let's go hire John Gruden? Even still, you have to jump on, and I know you got to jump on these decisions nowadays real quick, a la, the Rams and the Niners with their situations last year.
Yeah.
But you fired somebody right at the end of the game. You got 2 or 3 days before. Teams are still playing. You know what I'm saying? So why are you shaking the tree on John Gruden? You could have been shaking the tree on some of these other coaches too. That's just that's my theory of it. We don't know if these coaches are going to be better. We don't know if John Gruden is going to be good either, right? Right, guys?
Right.
Do you know that? Just because he's John Gruden, he's going to automatically come in and we're going to go to the Super Bowl? Are you really believe that? I mean, so we could have looked at other options and just saw what was out here, and we didn't do that, and this can come back to bite us. I'm firmly in belief of that.
Did you hear that, Shay, right now?
I did.
Hold on. Yeah, my neighbor just jumped off his roof. Kane, you're shaking him, man. You're shaking him.
I got a question for you, Kane. Okay, so we got a little bit of experience with Gruden as our coach, right? And when Gruden came around the first time, we had some different receivers come through. We had a fellow by the name of Andre Rison, who saw his way in and saw his way out, right, with the arrival of Jerry Rice. My question to you is, who doesn't fit of the current roster? Who isn't going to fit with John?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question. Damn, Che. We need to switch
That's a
seats.
really
I come with
good
that
question.
fire.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of these guys are gonna really fall off the end of the because you got some of these young guys that's just the way the world is, the way these kids, this generation is. Some of them not going to take to the coaching. Some of them are just that's a given. Some of these guys are not going to take to the style of coaching. So that's A. But if you want to ask me a figurative name that I don't think would fit with John Gruden, that might ruffle his feathers a little bit. And I hate to say this because this is I really like this guy, but Michael Crabtree, it might not fit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hope they bring him back. You know what I'm saying? But the little T to lead thing, taking the matters into his own hand when we trying to win games, I don't think Gruden would have cut you. I mean, the old Gruden I know, no matter who, you would have got cut the next day, whether we trying to win games or not. So Michael Crabtree is Donald Ken. I mean, the tough guys on the team, the guys that give us the grit, the grind, they might not match with John Gruden. Marshawn Lynch too. I mean, I'm just saying, those guys are the guys you don't fuck with. And are they gonna take to John Gruden's coaching style? I don't know. But those three names come to mind.
True. Yeah. I had the same feeling. So I had to throw that question out there because I wanted to see where you guys were at. What about you, Ken? What do you think about that?
Who's not a fit on this roster?
Who's on this roster that doesn't fit what Gruden's going to be bringing to the table?
Oh, man.
Because I think someone's going to fall, man. Mm-hmm. Someone's got to go, right? Someone's going to fall.
Yeah. Shoot, right now, the X factor for me is Marshawn Lynch. And this is why. Marshawn had a pretty tough coach in Pete Carroll over there in Seattle. He's a tough guy. He demands a lot of his players. And he did just fine. He had the same attitude. He was not called a cancer over there. And he was a winning running back. He put up stats. He came in this year and really, to me, looked like one of the few players on the offense that didn't quit. He worked hard. Yet at the end of the season, we're hearing he's a locker room cancer. He's got his film crew sideshow in the locker room, on the practice field, and was basically given no rules by Jack Del Rio. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. This is the X factor. I like Marshawn Lynch. I actually want him to come back. I thought he did well. We get one more year out of him. Maybe we dropped another running back this year. He continues to mentor, and all is well. All is well in the world of Raider Nation. Here's the other thing. John Gruden is not going to tolerate all that other bullshit. He's just not going to. Will Marshawn Lynch respond like the Marshawn Lynch of old and respect that? Because I know Lynch is a football guy. He knows his history. I know that. He's a smart dude. He fools a lot of people. He's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. So will he pick his head up and be like, you're right, coach, let's get to it? Or is he going to be like, I just came here for one last ride and a meal ticket? We'll see. He retired once. He was done. Cleats were up on the phone pole. So we're going to find out kind of why Lynch is here. Mm-hmm. Does he really just want to win? Or was he just here to give one to the home crowd? Will he come back? And if and when he does, he's going to clean up his act. Because running out on the field to defend your friend, which I thought that's a questionable football move, but it's also a good sportsmanship move. The same thing when he walked Talib down the sideline. It's something you don't want to see your teammate do, but it's also something maybe you'd like to see your kid do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's a tough one to call. And I know Gruden's not going to tolerate that either. Mm-hmm. He'll get right in your face while you're walking Talib off the sideline. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
So for me, Marshawn Lynch is the X factor because I think Gruden would love to coach a guy like that.
Yeah.
As long as he's not having to deal with all the other stuff on the side.
Right.
And so if Lynch is willing to give that up and put his nose back down to the grindstone and win some football games, if he's really all about that, it'll be fine.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to be a shit show and he's out of here.
Yeah.
But I think we find out before the season starts. I think Gruden doesn't waste any time. Look at the Larry Brown story.
Yeah.
He was out.
Yeah.
I mean, Gruden pulled him into the office. Brown, gave him an earful. And then Gruden told him to pack his bags. Right then and there. Didn't even go to Al Davis. So you get the hell out of here, man. So that's my guy in this, Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch, yeah.
What about your own question, man? Where you at?
I mean, honestly, when I was thinking, and I thought about this earlier, I honestly felt like, man, Crab might not fit. I thought the same way Kane did, right? Crab might be the guy that doesn't fit. And I'm like you, I want Crab back, but I don't want none of the nonsense that was going on towards the end of the season where he's sitting on the sidelines for, according to what the reporters were saying, absolutely no reason, man. Like, no injury, no nothing. I'm just taking myself out of the game. That's something that's going to get you cut from next year's squad, real quick. And reports, I saw some stuff, some posts. I don't know who was reporting, but there was some reports out there saying that he's pretty much done himself in with some of those actions. So he might be gone before Gruden gets here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I hate that. We were just saying the other day how we hate that saying on the blog. At the end of the day, that being said, it is what it is. No, I'm kidding. I don't know that any roster moves happen until Gruden gets in here and is able to make the final call, because I think you guys both make a great point with Crabtree. If you guys had said Lynch, I probably would have went Crabtree, to be honest. Yeah. But I also see both of these guys being tremendous assets in Gruden's offense.
I think so too. That's the scary part, right? Is that they would be probably more successful in this scheme. No, not probably. They would be exponentially more successful in this scheme than they were in this past season's scheme, by far. But it's those personality traits that might see them out of this before they even get a chance to test out that scheme.
True. I mean, Crabtree is like boneless Tim Brown, right? Diet Tim Brown. And I know that's is boneless Tim Brown.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know that's a stretch. Some people out there may take offense to that, but really look at it. He's really like a textbook possession wide receiver with good hands. Well, allegedly, and pretty decent rack ability. Tim Brown, excellent rack ability and dynamite hands. But they would both basically, what I'm trying to say is they would both serve the same purpose in Gruden's offense, with Cooper taking the top off of it. So I would love to see both of those guys back, but they are the ones on the fringe and could potentially be cut. It's really a matter of, are you willing to get with the program?
Right.
Because if not, we're going to ship your ass out of here.
What you think about Donald Penn? I also think Donald Penn is one of them guys that may not fall in line with Gruden. We'll see.
Donald Penn interests me, man, because here's the thing about Donald Penn. Donald Penn is, as we know, is a Raider fan. Seems like everybody on the Raiders is a Raider fan. We know he's a Raider fan, so we know he's got a vested interest. That said, he's probably a big Chucky fan. He knows his history. Mm-hmm. And a lot was said about Penn's play this season and his holdout at the beginning of the season probably affecting that. I'm guessing this guy probably played hurt through most of the season. As you know, he's really reluctant to miss a game. But one thing remains consistent is in all the locker room post-game interviews, Donald Penn was a guy out of everybody that was not giving canned responses and honestly really looked devastated by what this team was doing. Yeah. I will say that I know for a fact that Donald Penn wants it more than almost anybody on the offensive side of the ball that I could see this season, as far as just really emotionally, passionately wanting it. He knows his time is running to an end. He wants to win, and he wants to win bad, and he wants to win with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, he does. That's a great point, man. That's a great point. I would agree with you there.
So I think Donald Penn is...
Yeah, I guess I have to agree with you with that, too.
Carr...
Yeah, that was a good take, man.
Carr... I know Carr's an emotional guy, but he's just... And hopefully we can get him out of here. He's just too PC. He's just too vanilla to me. Like, everything he says after the game is everything like he thinks you want him to say. Derek Carr, it's time to start being honest, man.
Yeah.
I get it. You want to take everything on your back. But if somebody drops a ball, you need to get in their face. And I'm not going to be the last person to tell you that. In fact, somebody that's getting paid by the Oakland Raiders next year will be telling you that repeatedly.
Hey.
So,
especially if it's Rich Gannon.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I'm going to basically.
Hey, man, you brought.
What was that again?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was here to chime in on that real quick. So I just wanted to say you talked about Derek Carr and his coaching. Derek Carr is going to listen, man. I was listening to an interview today with Kevin Harlan on one of these local radio stations, and he was saying, basically he implied that if Derek Carr doesn't take to this year, they will move on. This coaching staff, John Gruden, and if it's Rick Gannon, these guys will move on. There's another quarterback on this roster. His name is Connor Cook, and I know y'all probably thinking, oh, wow, look, Connor Cook, who's this? No, Gruden liked him coming out of college. He went to Gruden's QB camp, and Gruden talked with him, worked with him, and Gruden likes this guy. This guy, I don't trust the current coaching staff that we just fired maybe to make him walk from crawl. So if they could have trouble developing the quarterback, the other young talent on the team and all that. So I'm just saying, I'm not putting all I want Derek Carr to succeed. I do. And Kevin Harlan made this clear, and so did Rich Gannon. One thing you cannot do is teach somebody to be more aggressive, more demanding, and a little bit of an asshole. You can't teach that. That has to come because that's who you are when you strap.
I was born that way.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I was born that way. Nobody taught me how to be an asshole.
When you strap that helmet on, you gotta be somebody else. Save that other shit for home. Yep. Say that for home with your kids and your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you get to this football field, if Cooper is not showing you what he's supposed to be, you need to drop what you're doing, run down, embarrass him in front of the whole team. I bet you he'll stop doing it. If Carr cannot do stuff like this coaching staff will move on, people. And if you don't get it, you better get it now. And you might not like it, but it can possibly happen because John Gruden is not patient. And I don't care if it's Derek Carr, he's making $135 million. If Derek Carr is not producing what he's supposed to be doing and taking to this coaching, this staff will move on. Be prepared for it. So, I hope Derek Carr is successful, but I don't see it happening. We'll see. And call me stupid, call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me. If we talking about next year, if we talking about damn, Kane, you sure did tell us. I'm going to say, hey, I told you. Now, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see.
That's it right there. That's the medicine you guys needed to hear. That's the real. While everybody's out there popping champagne and already throwing confetti and celebrating the Super Bowl win like you was Barrett Robbins or something.
No, don't cross that border.
I just brought you back. Just pull your head out of Tijuana real quick and listen to what we just said. Because you know what? The honest truth is hopefully somewhere in the middle of all of that. Hopefully somewhere between what you just heard and what you've been thinking all week is the real truth.
Right.
Which probably is. We're trying to give you one side of it. We're trying to give you both sides of it. Both sides of this coin. Because it can go as sour as everything Kane just said, and it ultra realistic. That is not far-fetched. Or it could be as good as, as maybe as you think it can out there, Pillager. Yeah. Which is also maybe not far-fetched. Yeah. But probably is. Yeah. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
The bottom line, though, too, is don't be surprised when things don't go as planned next season. That's the biggest thing, right?
Should be used to that.
Yeah, don't be surprised when things don't go as planned. Whether it's good or bad. If you plan for the bad and they go good, don't be surprised. If you plan for the good and it turned out bad, don't be surprised.
We got a bunch of cholas out there with no eyebrows talking about how they surprised. Bitch, you look surprised.
Hey, Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna stay on my even keel, bro. Look, I'm glad they went after John Gruden. Like I said, it was an aggressive move. I'm happy y'all did it, and hopefully it'll work out. You know, 'cause it's got. You know what, bro? Like I told you earlier today, this has to work. If it doesn't work, you're screwed for the next 10 years. You're screwed. You're gonna be sitting here in 3 years talking about, oh, we should have kept Jack Del Rio. All we had to do was hire a new offensive coordinator and let John Pagano stay as the defensive coordinator.
Right.
That's what people do.
Oh yeah, there's people out there. There's people out there right now that are saying that we should have kept Hugh Jackson. Still to this day.
Yeah.
And you know what? Given all of the problems between the front office and Jack Del Rio, maybe they're right because we ended up there anyways.
Right. It's true.
But we're here now.
It's true. This is where we're at. By
the way, I dated a Chola once, and every time she got mad at me, she had to go draw her eyebrows back in a different way. I was like, you just look too happy and surprised right now.
Oh man!
She had to draw me in at an angle. I'll be right back.
You better watch out, because she might be listening to this podcast and show up at your doorstep.
Kane,
oh boy,
Kane, man, it's real good talking to you.
I wish we was talking about something different than this, man. But this is where we are. You're right.
It's weird, huh?
It's another joke of a goddamn season. Another joke of a season. And now it's turned into a circus. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this show, this PT Barnum that Martin created, hopefully it's one of the greatest shows on earth. It better be for $10 million a year.
There you go.
So we'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. So we're going to keep going through the offseason, folks. This is the last week of the season, or last podcast of the season, technically. But this is not the last podcast of the year. We were going to keep rolling right through. We got a whole lineup of guests for you throughout the offseason and going into the summer. We'll be bringing Chase back. We'll, of course, have Kane on every week as usual. You look forward to Kane's Corner. We got a couple new voices coming at you. We have a couple of repeat voices. We got Scott Winter lined up for tonight, so stay tuned for that. After the break, he's going to be joining us. He's the man that broke this Gruden story. Y'all thought he was crazy. We're going to talk about that. I didn't believe this until Scott reported it, and at which point I said, this is facts. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to try to get Kingdon back on here because he worked with John Gruden, so we'll be talking to him too, and talking draft all throughout the offseason and free agency and everything that comes our way. So hang in there, folks, and thanks again, Kane, for joining us. Again, courtesy of NFLshop.com. This is Kane's Corner. Click through pj4f.com, hit the banner, and buy something for your lady. You know, just make sure it's not pink. Or buy something for my lady. Okay? Anyways, bro, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
It's always a pleasure being on the show with you and Che. Wishing all you guys a happy new year, all your listeners, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week. And no matter what comes out of my mouth, it's always at the end of the day, go Raiders, baby.
There you go, man.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
See you guys on the other side. We out here.
Peace.
Yeah, what's going on, Kenny? What's going on, fellow Pillagers? It's crazy. You know, I kind of lightweight predicted that we was going to get John. I'm sure everybody and their mama said that, but I said it in week 3. I know ain't nobody going to believe me, but Kenny know what's real. You know what's real. But anyway, my main concern is hopefully we're able to keep the great mind of Reggie McKenzie. I would truly hate to see us lose him. Hopefully, we can have the best of both worlds and have Reggie McKenzie and Gruden at the same time. But whatever will be, and we shall see. Somebody very intelligent told me the same time next year, all the answers to our questions will be answered. So there's nothing we can do but wait. I love you, Raider Nation.
What's up, Nation? It's your boy Juice. Sorry, my voice is a little off, guys. I got a cold. I just want to say what's up and Merry New Year to the Pillaging crew. Kenny, King, Che, Sixes, everybody else involved, guys. Just thanks so much for giving us a forum, for us to act silly every day. My thoughts on Gruden coming, I'm both nervous and excited. I'm a little nervous because he's been away for a long time, and he may be a little rusty. Also, he likes to practice real hard and scream at the players. Long practices aren't allowed anymore, with the new rules. Plus, these players always act like they've got sand in their vagina. He can't yell at them all the time, like he's used to doing. If he brings Gannon along, that'd be cool. I remember when he used to play, I used to think, one of these days that guy would be a really good quarterback coach. He was a journeyman, and he was chewing out, just straight tearing him a new one. Hall of Famers, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, whatever. And I know Gruden was having issues with Big Al, but at the end there, every job that come up, Notre Dame, whatever, there was cut like 2 other ones. Oh, that'd be the dream job. It was starting to get on the nerves, man. So I was ready for him to leave. So hopefully he doesn't start acting like that. Also, when he was given total control out there in Tampa, once Dungy's players left, he ran that team into the ground, and that makes me nervous. On the other hand, I'm really, really excited we finally got an offensive-minded coach. A few years back, I'm sure you guys remember, I would not shut the fuck up about bringing in Seattle's offensive coordinator, Darryl Bevell. I was convinced we needed an offensive-minded coach, but, we didn't get what we ended up with Del Rio. But I'm excited. Look how creative Kansas City was in that second game. All the movement and formations and everything really confused the hell out of our sorry-ass defense. And hopefully we can do that to a few people this year. Look what happened with the Rams, even the phony whiners. It makes a difference. But anyways, I'm excited to have Gruden back, man. A little nervous, but excited. All right, guys. Catch you guys later. Pillaging.
Hey, did the Chiefs lose yet? I hate those guys. Looks like Gruden's coming back, eh? Good news, Raider Nation. Excited. I know Raider Nation's excited. Let's get back to winning. Podunk Raider. Go Raiders.
What up, Pillaging folks? Buddy JFB out here happy as can be because we got John Gruden coming our way. And here's the number one reason. There's many. There's a myriad, some might say, of reasons of why John Gruden is going to be an epic hire for the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders. And the main reason is John Gruden does not have any ties to any of these dickheads on the roster who just went 6-10 and quit on their fan base, quit on the coaching staff, and quit it on beloved owner. Doesn't have any ties to these people. Doesn't have to go into the offseason and go, I really need to make it work with this guy because I gave him too much goddamn money. He doesn't have to do that. He can go in with a fresh slate, understand the talent that is on the roster, and not have any bias because he's the guy that wrote the contract and needs to try to cover his ass. Damn it, Roman.
Kenny, Happy New Year. 2018 is 303 Raider. Wow, I can't believe this whole season, and then now we're talking about Chucky coming back. I, for one, said that there's no way that Jack was going to get fired just because of the money that was involved. I think after the coaches, after Jack and some of the assistant coaches, I heard that the number was in the mid-20s, 20-something million that Mark had to eat, but shows how much I know. Anyways, in my adult, I'm 46 years old, and as an adult, the only time that I really enjoyed as far as winning was as a Raider fan was when Gruden was a coach. And how could you not be excited just from the perspective of him coming back, wanting to be, unfinished business, wanting to be a Raiders coach. That's just the most exciting thing is to have him back on the sidelines, mentoring Carr. Did such a great job with Gannon. Now we know that Gruden hasn't coached a young QB and had success, but you got to believe that, he's been preparing for this for a long time. And the biggest reason that he wanted to come back because of the timing with Carr. He's in his fifth season. He's not a rookie. And he thinks that he can, get him back to an MVP level. So I'm excited. I guess the negatives will be that he's just been out of the game for a very long time, and I don't think the game's passed him by, man. I don't think a lot of people on the blog who says this could be a negative, I don't think they really understand the amount of work that John is putting in and how close he is to the game. I watched a great segment on YouTube that Brian Gumbel did that shows that he's still up at 4 o'clock, watching tape and analyzing and things like that. So, I mean, what were we going to do? Keep Jack and then ruin another year with Carr? I mean, a lot of us said that we needed an offensive coach to mentor Carr. And I mean, who better than John Gruden? So, who knows? It could all go just to hell, but I believe it's going to be positive. I mean, it's going to take some time, and hopefully, we're going to find out if Carr really wants to work and grind, because, Gruden is going to put his ass to work, and hopefully it all works out. So 2018 is off to an exciting start. Go Raiders. Can't wait to the final announcement in the draft in the offseason. It's going to be a good one. I'm out.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? This is Sleep What Is That on IG. John P. from the OC. Raider fan since 30 years ago. Whatever. But anyways, you guys have a great thing going, man. Great show. Love what all you guys do. Even Kenny, when he chimes in over the phone and he sounds like R2D2, that's okay. Well, technical stuff happens. We'll forgive him for that. But just want to comment and say thanks for what you guys are doing. And I feel this is a good thing that's happening with the Raiders right now. This is a good change because, man, we all felt it. We all knew that there were games this season that we could have won, but we didn't. We ended up losing because of little things that we would just keep saying to ourselves, at least I would, hey, man, if they were just detail-oriented, if they would just do this right, do that right, make a cut on a route, catch the ball, hold on to the damn ball. What the hell's happening? Too many drops, fumbles at crucial times. So mentally, that told me that they weren't there mentally, and so I'm so glad that this new regime that's coming in, even if it ain't John Gruden, but let's say it is, and all the rumors are true. Because I haven't posted anything, I haven't said anything to my friends, I haven't said anything because I don't want to eat crow, right? I think we're all kind of doing that. But it's funny how John Gruden's kind of having a good time with all this and saying stuff like, I hope I'm a candidate and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I hope I'm a candidate, man. I really love that Derek Carr. But anyways, forgive my weak impression. But a couple of things. I did see a couple of players quit and give up during the Chargers game, and I think we all know who that is. Crabtree, and that's not okay. And the safety's got to go. Number 27, he's got to go, man. He did what he could, but he Father Time whipped him in the ass already. Father Time gets us all, but whatever. I want to say that, yeah, let's be cautious with what's happening here with the organization, but it's a great thing that's happening. It's a great thing that can be possibly on the verge of happening. And we all know that Gruden is a million times. Gruden has forgotten more stuff about coaching and being an offensive coordinator than Todd Downing knows, okay? So that's all I have to say. And the defense, it's only going to improve. The defense proved to us that it can work. All right, this is a message 2 of 2. Sorry, Kenny, Shay, and Kane, if I went a little too long on that other message. But I'm going to keep it short. So I don't know if having Marshawn Lynch come back is a good thing. I don't like his antics, man. I love the way he runs. I feel that he can be productive, but he's just unpredictable. And his unpredictability, his antics, can end up costing you a game. You know, him getting suspended by running on the field to protect the Chiefs player, that's something I have an issue with. I believe that, the jersey's gotta come first. I know the name, the last name, means something, but this isn't a gang fight, man. It was just a shoving match. So let him learn his lesson. You know, Peters, he's a young kid. He's a talented kid, but he's not learned his lesson. You know, you don't hit someone else's quarterback while he's on the ground after a sack. Otherwise, you're going to get it from the linemen, especially the Raider linemen. So I think Marshawn made a bad decision there. I don't understand why he walked out. Aqib Talib, you know, he should have let him get destroyed or whatever the fans were going to do. Maybe throw their beer at him. Okay, whatever, you know. Hey, I would never do it. I'm not going to waste $12 on a loser like that. But apparently there are people that will do that. You know, we've all seen it at the game. And so I didn't like that. The dancing on the side, I don't have a problem with that. He was excited to be back home, be in Oakland. And I think the young guys, D. Washington and Richard, they really do look up to him because he's a leader by example. And I was disappointed when he fumbled in Philly. That's very unlike him. But man, he runs really well. He plays really well. If he only had like Tim Brown's demeanor, that would be unbelievable. So I don't know if John Groom's going to bring him back or whoever is our coach is going to bring him back. But yeah, so that's my call. If you guys are able to play it on the air, that'd be great. If not, then I understand. But amazing show, man, and I love to, you know, interact with you guys and stuff like that. Because you know, we're diehard fans, man. We want nothing but the best with this team, and we've been through the lows, and it looks like we're heading in the right direction. So once again, sleep with us on IG, and go get after it on Twitter, okay? And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Good evening, Raider brothers. This is St. Homer. I'm getting tired of reading all the bad criticism of a quarterback that brought the most joy to this team in so long. A guy that has set himself apart amongst his 2014 class as the quarterback statistically. I really don't think a lot of you understand what truly happened. Injuries, complete dysfunction by the coaching staff, and just a total crap show of chemistry and emotion every week led to arguably the most disappointing season I have ever seen since 1971. You truly don't understand the fact that this quarterback is the best thing that's happened to this franchise since Kenny the Snake Stabler was drafted. Hang on for the ride. John is not getting rid of Derek anytime soon. Whether Rich Gannon comes aboard or not, I really don't care. I know this. Derek Carr is going to come next season, guns a-blazing. And anybody that doubts him is going to have to pay some amends soon. I'm out.
And we're back. And we're joined right now by Scott Winter from Las Vegas Raiders Report. And you can follow him on Twitter at Scott_Winter NFL, the Winter Report, as you guys may know him. He's the guy that, in my eyes, broke the Gruden story. And it's not even really a subjective thing. That's really just facts. Now, the Gruden winds were blowing, as they always do around this time. And I was on here telling you guys that Gruden was not walking through that door. I'm wrong.
We were both wrong.
But to my credit, when my boy Scott here broke the story, I saw it. I saw it pop up on my timeline live. I was like, oh, what's this? I clicked on it. I was reading through it. I said, you know what? If Scott's reporting this, it's true. Scott's not the type of dude to just throw things out there to try to get made. Scott's going to throw something out there only if it's facts, only if it's solid. And I know when his report came out, some of you guys were still on my side of the fence. A lot of you called him crazy. Scott's a lot of things, but not crazy. Scott's a solid dude. So welcome to the show, Scott. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. I'll tell you what, I was in your camp too. So, I mean, I had one of my sources was telling me that this was going to happen like 4 weeks ago. And I was like, no, man, we hear this every year. Right. He's going to Tennessee. He's going to Tampa. He's going to the Raiders. And of course, the Raiders have courted him 3 times. And it always, amounts to this. It's like chasing the rainbow, They're always after me Lucky Charms. So, very hesitant to really jump on this. I even said support that, unless something is major going on internally, which for performance after having the year that Del Rio had, something going on behind the scenes, and it was a trust issue, and that's really all I can get into about now. But when your owner loses trust in you, and at the same time, your coveted whale for a coach all of a sudden makes himself available, right. Well, guess what? You go fishing. Captain Ahab went after his white whale, and he's got it. So, like I said, I finally everything broke together because I'd been hearing everything from one source and then 2 other sources. I was on the phone with them all day on Friday, and then I was going back to my other guy, and he's like, I told you it was happening. This has been a while. I'm like, oh my God. So I called my editor, and he says, how are you with these sources? I said, dude, I'm good on these sources. I said, I'm nervous about putting this out there though, because it's like I said, it's the the holy grail. You're going to be chasing after forever. So I did it, and there you go. And then the next day, of course, ESPN broke it the next day.
Did they credit you at all?
What's funny is I was at the Los Angeles game, with and one of the an ESPN employee came up to me and congratulated me on breaking the story. I'm not going to mention any names because that's not cool. No. But I said, so why did Shifty and Moore get it? And he said, business. I'm like, oh, thanks. Hey, but no, they didn't credit me.
I credited you, bro.
I appreciate it.
For what it's worth, man.
I appreciate it.
I got like 5 retweets on that too, so it's big time now. I think you were one of them, so props. Yeah, man, congratulations on that though, for real. I mean, this, like you said, this is like the mirage every single year, and you were right there to see it materialize. That's pretty exciting stuff. So what's your gut feeling on all this thing? Good move, bad move, too early to tell, hesitant to say anything at all? I know it's dangerous. I'm hearing that the number is actually going to be closer to 7 years, 15 mil per. It's going to clock in at right around $100 million total. That's what I'm hearing. I know it was previously reported as a $50 million deal, and I'm hearing it's a little bit closer to $100 million. I don't know how accurate that number is, but I'm hearing that from a couple different places.
You're right in the same range I'm hearing. I'm hearing 5 to 10 years and $50 to $100 million. So yeah, somebody in there is right somewhere. So I don't like to when you have that kind of big of a swing. I try not to pinpoint it because, like I said, I take a long time to vet my sources.
Yeah.
And like with the coaching search and the numbers and all of that, every time I get something locked down, it changes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I'm just going to sit back.
Yeah.
Because I take my time to, because I have, like you said, you read my article and you believed it. Mm-hmm. You were like, holy moly, it's really going to happen because Scott said it was going to happen. Well, I don't write stuff. I don't fly. I don't do a flyer or anything. I make sure they're vetted and whatnot. And so I don't break a great many stories. I think I broke 5 this year.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're going to be vetted and accurate as possible in such a fluid situation. So there you go.
There it is. Yeah, there it is, man. appreciate that too.
We kind of spent the whole first half of this show talking about the good and bad, and if that price range is true, wherever it lands in there, I still feel like this is a real dangerous move. Mark Davis has essentially pushed all of his Cheetos into the center of the table, and he's gone all in on this. So what? And I respect to Davis. I actually think that this was one of his most aggressive moves and shows that he's really willing to step up and do what it needs to take for this team by any means, as Khalil Mack would say. And so this was, I mean, the most aggressive. Well, I say that, but he even actually moved the team. A lot of people doubt Mark Davis,
right?
But it seems to be that he actually probably knows what he's doing,
right?
The risk is he putting too much on this, because if it backfires, if Gruden can't come in and be Chucky, where does this leave this team? And those of you that are listening, I know I'm resetting this again, but Scott, I really want to know what your opinion is on this. Do you feel like this is a good move, a right move, just a PR move? Does Gruden have anything left back in the tank? I know this is all kind of gut reaction, but where do you stand on this?
It's a tough situation for me because I don't know who his staff is going to be, and I don't like to make assessments. I mean, I'm going to do an analysis after it's all said and done. What I will do is give props to Mark for pushing his chips all in.
There you go.
He did it with Las Vegas. He did it with getting his prize in Gruden. He's been trying, and this is his third attempt, and he made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could be a bad decision. Ultimately, it could be a bad decision. It could be a good decision. The man's been in the broadcast booth for the last 10 years. So does he have what it takes? Does he have the personality? Is he going to be the Gruden of old, or is he going to be someone who doesn't understand the rules of the NFL and how to run a team in the modern era? Those are fantastic questions. I like some of the names that he's bringing up that are being brought up for coordinator positions.
Yeah.
I'm not. If Olson's the offensive coordinator, I'm not exactly. I'm not exactly peachy warm fuzzy. I would have loved Morton, but Morton's now out of the mix. But Olson, there's a familiarity there with Carr, and I thought that he did pretty decent things with Carr. But at the same time, let's be real. This will be Chucky's offense.
Yeah.
Olson will be calling it, because in 10 years, Olson's been an offensive coordinator. I don't think in 10 years he's had a top 10 offense. So but he keeps getting hired. So, he's obviously brilliant at play design and quarterback work. I know that he did some great things with Bortles, and he's done fantastic things with Carr, obviously, and some of the people in Tampa Bay. But as an actual play caller, I'm glad that he's not. So if that's the case, again, things could bottom out here, and the Rams could pay him, and like the Jets probably did with Morton, and we could be waiting for another OC. So it's a very fluid situation right now.
Yeah,
names are going to be thrown out there because agents are going to be touting their guys, trying to get them some more money, and sometimes it's not legit, sometimes it is. But when an agent's telling you something, you have to report it. So you get a lot of misfires on leads when that happens.
So when we played LA here to end the season, was on New Year's Eve, and I was busy getting gussied up with my lady, but I had the game on my laptop and I'm watching it and I'm peeking in, and I managed to peek in just in time to see the 4th and 1 situation and the immediate reaction of Mark Davis in the booth, which I think he echoed the sentiments of every fan watching this team. So here's the thing. You can clown Mark Davis all you want to, but this guy is vested in his team. You see him raise his hands up when something exciting happens, and you see him get angry just as you're getting angry. So say all you want about him, but he's you and me.
Right.
I hate to say that, too, because I said so much about him, last year. But looks may be deceiving, folks. and you may be upset that he's leaving your backyard. I am, too. But it seems at the end of the day, Mark's willing and able to do what needs to get done. And that includes firing Jack Del Rio on the spot.
Right.
When do you think
that was pretty crazy?
That was crazy. That was a very Al Davis type move, though.
Yeah, it was. It was.
He's a Davis.
He's a Davis for sure.
There's no mistaking that after
he's
that.
A Davis.
You know that now. And before I move forward, I will reset this take again. Al Davis loved Las Vegas. Al Davis also believed the Raiders belonged in Oakland. But Al also knew that they deserved the biggest and best, shiniest, bright new state-of-the-art stadium that they can ever get, and he chased that stadium his entire life until he went into the grave.
Right.
That said, I think personally, hold on to your phones, Al Davis would have loved this move. And it hurts me to say that, but he loved Las Vegas. And if Oakland was going to play games with him like this, I think it would have went a lot worse for the city of Oakland if Al had been around.
Mm-hmm.
Mark being gracious enough to just get it done on his own and get out of town clean, and maybe he doesn't pay a few parking bills. Hey, you're getting off the hook easy, Oakland. I really believe that. I think Al would have taken it to you, and I think would have taken it to the league somehow, some way. So that said, Mark Davis did what had to be done with Jack Del Rio. He did not make that decision on that 4th and 1 call. That decision had been made. He had that locked and loaded. That was chambered.
Yeah.
Scott, when do you think the writing was on the wall? At what point of the season was Mark saying, I need to get rid of this guy?
Yeah.
I heard back in November from one of my sources that have been, I told you one of my sources for like 4 weeks have been saying this.
Yeah.
And what he said was that the Raiders, there was a line. If they were less than 8-8, he said there's a good chance that Coach Del Rio was going to be fired. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it really doesn't, because you take a look at Ron Rivera and that staff. They went to the Super Bowl and they went 4-12 last year.
Right.
And then now they're playing again for the playoffs. But again, they didn't fire nobody. So I'm like, and Mark's a patient guy. So it had to be more than that. But when they came out against Kansas City the way they did, that's when I was told that was it. That was a done deal. And then they started looking at people for, looking at people for candidates for the Rooney Rule, the whole 9 yards, because they didn't know if they were going to get Gruden. They had no idea. I mean, there's always that. But the Glazers made a run at Gruden. Also, from what I was told, Tampa Bay, the Glazer family has always said that the one mistake that they have made is they fired Chucky. Yeah. So they made a run at him, and from what I heard, that the choice came down to Winston and Carr, and he chose Carr.
Oh, interesting.
I fired Jack Del Rio after that Chiefs game too. You and I were both out there, Scott, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to connect with you out there, but I was kind of reconnecting with family. I had a good friend out there and stuff, and we kind of we were getting ready for game day and all that. But that was a miserable experience just watching the play on the field. I think that was the point at in the season that all of us as fans knew, no matter what happens after this, I don't care about our numerical chances. This team is done. We're cooked. Whatever slight improvements you saw under John Pagano against a backup quarterback, those were mirages too.
Right.
Yeah, we were a little bit more disciplined. We looked a little bit more prepared, but the results speak for themselves. Sure, our defense was on the field a little bit too long in that game, a bit too long in that game. But let's fast forward again to the last game against the Chargers. So, Pagano's contract, I think.
Yeah, it could have been 35 points.
Oh, yeah, easily.
In KC, it could have been 35 points before the second half. I mean, the defense, it was able to get 4 stops for field goals. I mean, and one was a touchdown, so they had 19 points instead of 35. But it could have been 35. I mean, it might have been 35 under Norton. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. So I know you can't speak too much about it, but just even in vague terms, because I've been saying this for a while, and I think maybe somebody needs to hear it from somebody else for a change on this podcast. What exactly happened to this team? You already confirmed it wasn't the protest. I thought that was just a baloney story anyways. Yes, the protest was a distraction before the game, certainly. But after that, we were off the rails. We never got back on track. What happened? What happened to this squad, Scott?
That's $1 million question. I mean, they get knocked in the face. They're not prepared because they're focused on their stance, their political stance, and that's fine. I'm not going to get into that.
No.
Every man has to make a choice.
Yeah.
But they weren't focused on the game. And I have dealt with people and led people in situations where precision is everything. Mm-hmm. And somebody's out of focus. It's amazing that they're off on their timing. Everything like muscle memory dies. all of that, and it knocked them senseless. And then when they tried to get back on it, things weren't clicking. They were missing. You don't have your head in the game. You can't do your option routes. You're not paying attention well enough. You're thinking too much. Too many minds. You know, it's like the thing with, you ever see 10 Cup where Chief Marin tells John Johnson to put everything. I mean, tells what's his face to put everything in one pocket, dance on one leg, and now hit the ball. It's because you were thinking too much about things. You know, just do it right. You know, don't think. Right. You know, and that's the problem. You start thinking, all kinds of things happen. I mean, you take a look at what Pagano did for that defense. He lessened the complexity.
Right. Yeah.
See ball, get ball. That was his thing. See ball, get ball. See ball, get ball. And they played a lot better when they had less complex things that they had to worry about. But you had receivers going on option routes, every receiver having an option route. And there were too many times, even in the last game, I remember watching Roberts run a post and Carr threw a dig.
Yeah.
And people go, oh, well, Carr misfired that shot. No, he threw a dig. I even tweeted, Carr was short on his pass. But then I look at the replay and I go, no, he threw a dig. Yeah. And Roberts ran a post. Now, I'm not saying that Carr was right or Roberts was right, but somebody was off script because there's an option there. And that was all year, and it would kill the momentum, plus more drops than anything. And that's focus drops. Too many thoughts going on. Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do this? And then the ball's there, and I'm thinking about catching the ball. And you shouldn't think about catching the ball. It should be just catch the ball and run. It's not something you think about. It's muscle memory. So
here's my take.
It was a whole bunch. They never got on track. They played. I think the only time that they played good football, really good Derek Carr 2016 football, was 40 minutes in Dallas, in Oakland against Dallas.
Yeah,
that was fantastic football.
Yeah. That was.
And we lost at the end, but I'd rather have my quarterback going for that. Right. My $125 million man should be making that play. Or at least trying.
I was critical of that. I was like, you need to get out of bounds and live for another down. And then I was playing Madden a few nights ago. And
I did the same thing.
I did the same damn thing, and I fumbled the ball through the back of the end zone. So I'm eating some crow on that too.
The hormones get to you. You want your $125 million man trying to win the game. It's like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game.
Yeah, it's true.
I like that statement.
Here's my take on it really quick before you got to get up out of here is, what happened in Washington happened, and it kind of started to trend that direction from then on, except for we had a couple cupcake opponents and we inked it out there, but you have a staff that's unwilling to hold themselves accountable. And I said after that game, we didn't pivot, and we needed to pivot. We had putting film out in the NFL, and now you got to change. You got to use that film against them.
Right.
And we didn't do that.
Right.
And that's football 101. And the staff wouldn't hold themselves accountable, and then they started throwing their players under the bus.
Yep. Real subtly, too.
Real subtle. And when you do that, if you're going to throw somebody under the bus, if you're going to get in a player's face, hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do that, now you have zero integrity, which means you have now zero buy-in, and all the execution goes out the window, and everyone's throwing their hands up like, what the hell are we doing over here?
Right.
And now you're standing right in the middle of a gigantic grease fire. I think a lot of people are trying to overcomplicate this. I've said it before. Raider Nation loves a conspiracy theory. We've been here before, Raider fan. We know what this looks like. Stop trying to overcomplicate it. Like Scott just said, you're overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, that's it. Everything was over. And remember when Todd Downing was like week 7? I think it was 3 or 4 weeks into the losing streak, and he said, "Well, we're not going to change anything, because if we did that, then it would mean that we didn't believe in what we really wanted to do, and that it was total crap to begin with." And he didn't say it exactly like that, sorry, but I'm like, dude, are you serious? Did you just say you're going to pound your head against the wall and expect different results? Because Mike McCartney at that same time with Green Bay was like, yeah, I'm handing play calling duties to my offensive coordinator because something needs to change.
Right.
See the difference there?
Isn't that the definition of crazy, right? When you keep on doing the same thing and expecting something different. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I just thought, I get that you are prideful in what you do, But dear Lord, it's not working. Do something else. Change things up. Period.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, and I'm talking to both of you guys too, go to Todd Downing's Wikipedia page and scroll down to coaching career and read the very last bullet point. Whoever did that, you're a genius. And hopefully they haven't changed it by the time this comes out tomorrow. Go check that out. I'm not even going to say what it is. I just want you to go look at it. Yeah, we didn't pivot. We refused to change. The coaching staff, that's on you. I think you saw this the other day on Twitter, Scott. Somebody was talking about how Jack was just a scapegoat in all of this, and the players have to execute. You know who it was? It was freaking Napoleon Kaufman.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? You're right. There's a lot of blame to be shared on this team. Everybody was out of sync.
Absolutely.
Things weren't going well. Guys didn't look fired up. People are quitting. Okay. Well, when that happens in the NFL, there's a place where that blame falls, and that place is the shoulders of your head coach. Because that tells me fundamentally there's a problem with the system. If it's not one guy, if it's almost every guy, then it lands on your head coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it does. That because the buck stops with your head coach. Your head coach is the one who's got to maintain the integrity of the locker room. He's got to maintain the integrity of the culture. And from what we're hearing, and from, what really bothered me, I can't remember who said it. I think it was Vic or Scotty Bear, and I saw it firsthand, was some of the offensive guys in the locker room after the LA game were laughing after the game, after they knew that their coach was fired. And, and I was just like, I'm not going to mention names again, but I was just like, are you kidding me? There was too much of that going on after losses. And believe you me, I saw my fair share of them on this road. There were just too many, shoulder shrugs and, I'll tell you what, who kept it real was Navarro Bowman. I really appreciated interviewing him during that stretch. He was awesome. He laid out a lot of good things. He was never looking to blame somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He was showing how he did his thing. It was a great pickup. I would love to see the Raiders re-sign him. Not that they're going to listen to me, but I would love for that to happen. But anyways, but there was this disconnect with the players, and I don't get it. And like I said, it things seem to keep coming apart as the season progressed. So
how many times is a coach going to get fired on the last game of the season for Navarro Bowman? Man, I feel bad for that,
right?
dude.
I know.
And in real life, man, I do kind of feel bad for Jack Del Rio as a person. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's a solid dude. He's a local guy. This was his dream job.
It was his dream job.
And these effects, I mean, they affect us one way as fans. But Jack Del Rio has a family. And you can argue, well, then he should have maybe done his job. And you know what? He did do his job. He showed up. He made some risky choices, and they were mistakes. And this is what happens because the NFL is a win-now league. But, long story short, all respect to Jack Del Rio and his family. You guys are Raider fans, and you're always going to be Raider fans. And so we still love you. And I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. You gave us a tremendous, exciting season last year, though, the year before this last, I guess you can say technically now. And so we do appreciate that because there are many wins in that season, starting with week 1, that I, as a Raider fan, will never forget.
Right.
And you gave me, you gave me and my friend Che here, sitting right next to me, and many others that were in attendance or watching on TV, one of those games this season, too, on Thursday Night Football. That was the most remarkable sporting event I've ever attended in my entire life.
Yep.
And so we thank you for that and wish you the best of luck. And hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you learned something. And I'd like to see you end your career on a good note. And, much love and good luck to you, Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
I know we made a lot of jokes.
Take a look at
I'm sorry, Scott, go ahead.
Take a look at the way. No, take a look at the way. I was right there. I'm sitting there scoping it for the Raider Ramble. I was my last gig for the Raider Ramble. I'm scoping it, and he comes out and he fires himself.
Yeah.
Like a professional. And he almost he teared up, And I've never seen that happen ever. I've never seen a coach come out and announce his own firing at the press conference on the last game of the year. It's just, I don't think that's ever happened. And he did it with pride and poise. And this was his dream job. And he always treated me with professional courtesy, answered my questions all year on the Raiders beat. So I feel bad for the guy. I really do. And I'm not, because it's about families. And the Raiders are a family. You know, it's not like just a job for these people. It's like a family. And all those assistants, all those people that are looking for jobs. Falcon Ferry's already found one. God bless for him. But there's going to be a lot of them looking for jobs. So, just pray they land a job. And I know you're making millions of dollars. Who cares? It's a mental thing. Of course you want to be providing for your family and stuff. So anyways, thank you for bringing the culture back. And I think if Derek Carr doesn't break his leg, we're a Super Bowl contender last year. It could have changed everything.
Yeah.
Sure last year. Mm-hmm.
And, Todd Downing's going to go back to his job making Lucky Charms. So.
Making Lucky Charms. Oh, my God.
Good luck, Todd Downing.
They are magically delicious, man.
They are.
It was probably his idea.
Gingers have no soul either. Oh, my God.
It was probably Downing's idea to add the blue horseshoe, too. Right? That's a Downing move.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Jokes. I got jokes. Scott, man, it's always tremendous talking to you. Hopefully we can get you back on here again sometime soon this off season, because you keep it real.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Appreciate being on your show. You guys have a fantastic fan base. I've went to your site multiple times, and the amount of interaction you have on there is insane. I can't even keep up with it. I'm like, holy hell, look at all these people.
It's pretty wild, though.
It is. I mean, you guys have a community. It's great.
Yeah. It's wild, man. Yeah, man, we appreciate that. Log in, man. Say something. Drop a little nugget and make everybody go crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we hope you feel better. I just wanted to say that Scott did this whole podcast playing through kidney stones. Much like Rodney Hudson. I'm just kidding. You don't have kidney stones. But you are sick.
It's bad enough. I am playing through the flu. That is big time. Yeah.
Well, thanks again, and good luck to you out there, man. We'll keep in touch. I see you on Twitter all the time. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, man. That was pretty awesome.
That was, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate him coming on the show. Yeah. A lot of knowledge. Obviously, he can't give us all the stories, right?
No,
he's got to save some.
Yeah.
He's got to make sure he's getting his dues, man.
Yeah.
Come on, ESPN.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
I know.
You're going to be going over there telling them, hey, man, it was a good job breaking the story, but we're going to go ahead and take credit for that.
Dirty. Hey,
man.
Y'all heard it here first. Actually, y'all heard like third, but hey, Scott's the man for real though. He's cool. He's hella cool. He's just like you and me. But he's persistent, and that's why he gets to be where he's at right now. So that's hard work paying off. That's what I like about his story, man. That's just, he's total grassroots guy. Look how many different sites he's tied into, and now he's credentialed, and yeah, just a lot of respect to Scott, man. That guy pulled himself up on his own, and made some cool connections. So we're glad to have him as a connection.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit more legitimate, smarter.
Yeah,
after talking to Scott.
I feel more legit, man. Just being here, man.
Let's go buy jackets.
Let's go, man.
Let's go buy new suits.
I feel like I just got a credential, man.
So we no injury report this week. Right?
Hit the button for good old time's sake, man.
This week's
boom, 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 boom.
This week's Oakland Raiders injury report. Todd Downing's feelings were hurt.
Ow!
And he is expected to miss the rest of the season and next season. Fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
But we do have one final segment called I See You.
I see you.
And Shay's rubbing his eyes over there. He's got the daddy fatigue right now.
I do, man.
I see it.
It's strong.
I feel your pain.
It's strong over here, man.
So this I See You is a reflective moment. Podunk Raider, who you heard during the break, and we didn't really talk about our calls because we got a lot of show at Scott waiting, so we listened to a couple of those. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that really quick after this. Yeah. But I see you, Podunk Raider, aka Raider Rockstar, who I had the pleasure of meeting in Kansas City. He says, quote unquote, Gruden is not walking through that door. Kenny Stapler. That was a quote by me. And he says, good call, Ace. Yeah, I nailed that one. Yeah. Well, I mean, I already kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
But I wanted, I didn't want to ESPN the hell out of Raider Rockstar.
Right.
Give him the credit for calling me out on that.
Right.
I knew that was coming.
Right.
Because I was preaching that loud and proud.
Yeah.
And maybe I was doing a little bit of, I don't know, what do you call that? Kind of trying to throw it this way, and hopefully it comes back that way.
Hey, we were trying anything we could at the end of the season, right? Because we threw all our positivity in the basket, and we didn't get any of it back.
We got nothing, man.
Right?
We got a big burning pile of dog poop on my doorstep. So yeah, man, I was saying that. Here's why. And I guess I already said this, but I get tired of hearing this at the end of every single season, and I felt like this is just really embarrassing for everyone to say that. Now, do I want Gruden to walk through that door? Hell yeah, man. That's exciting.
Right.
Gruden's the greatest head coach of the Raiders I ever got to really watch in my lifetime. As an adult. I mean, eventually I'll become an adult. That's what I mean to say. But technically on paper as an adult, and I just wasn't buying it again. I just feel like we grasp on to this hope at the end of every offseason, like this is gonna get us there, and this is what's gonna happen. Don't worry, Gruden's coming.
Yeah,
wait for it.
Yeah,
John Gruden's actually coming this time.
Yeah, it's
weird.
I guess all the wishes and the praying. Maybe he heard some of us, man. Maybe he heard some of us over the past seasons, man. And he was like, you know what? Let me give these guys a little something in return.
7 pound, 12 ounce, baby Gruden.
Your prayers were answered, Raider Nation. Let's just hope it is what we thought it was gonna be.
But yeah, let's hope.
Let's hope, man.
This is very surreal right now.
It's very surreal, man.
Roseanne's back on television.
I saw that, man. We're going back in time, man. It's
weird.
Is the DeLorean parked outside? Are we about to jump in this bitch?
We're out, right? I'm gonna give some shout outs. I want to say happy birthday to Phoenix Raider. You are without a doubt the shortest lived, most loved blogger ever on Pillaging Just for Fun. And I say that for the rest of the crew. You lurked for a long time. You came in, you were out, but your memory lives on forever. And hopefully, like John Gruden, someday you'll walk through that door. At the end of next season, we're all going to be like, Phoenix Raiders coming back. And I'm going to be like, he's not walking through that door. And then Scott Winter's going to report that indeed you did return to the blog. Happy birthday, bro. I hope you're knee deep in some pie right now. I'll just say that. That's an inside joke.
There you go.
Shout out to Easy Ant, CV Raider, Crawfish Joe, MK1, my boy Little King, Purvis Man, the Llama Man, Raider Rockstar, Christian, Alien Logic. You the homie. I don't even know if you're listening right now, Logic, but I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Still the homie.
Still a homie.
There you go.
And a Raider fan. Converted Raider fan. I converted his ass.
Oh.
Took him to a Raider game, and that was it.
Don't hang out with Raider fans for too long, because we'll get you.
Get you.
We'll get you, man.
And shout out to my man Juice, who I found out actually lives right down the street. So I owe you a beer already, brother.
There you go.
Shout outs?
Shout out to my lady, man. She's working hard. Mm-hmm. She's been doing this online teaching English to students in China, which means she has to be up at all ungodly hours of the night, still being a mom, and being a great one at that. So I got to shout her out. But like you said, I'm over here rubbing my eyes, and that's part of the reason, because I'm up at that time too with baby. So 3 o'clock, I'll see you in a bit. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll see you in a bit. I'm sure I'll be changing the diaper right around there.
Well, that's it, man. It's another show.
Yeah.
Off season, here we come.
Here we come.
You excited for the playoffs?
No, man. What is there to be excited about? Come on now. Ask me this again next season.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have an answer for you, man.
All right.
No, I'm sure I'll watch some games, but I won't be paying much attention. Man.
You know, we're going to respond to the calls, but the calls are pretty strong this week, man. I'm just gonna let them stand,
man. Let them stand. Some strong calls, man.
There's a lot of them. We appreciate that. Some weeks I gotta call these people and be like, "Yo, I know you got something to say."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Gruden shows up. Everyone wants to call Pillaging Podcast. Hey, we appreciate that still. Okay.
We do. We appreciate it all. So
just
keep it coming, man.
It's cool as hell, man. JFB, I see you call Raider Rockstar, Plunk, Gent on there, obviously. He's the good homie, and I love his takes. He keeps it real too. And Juice called in, and John Preck from Twitter, or Sleep What Is That from IG. He's been following us a little bit. He found us on social media, and he's been listening. So much respect to that guy. Shout out to you, man.
Shout out, man.
It's always cool talking to you. He's funny as hell too. So you've already heard the calls by now. We actually haven't even heard all of them yet. So we're going to get off of here right now and listen to everything that you guys had to say, because a few of them just dropped in as we were recording. And we out you.
Peace.
How about those Raiders, man?
Like a freight train coming, you're blowing the town.